Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of Golf Cart Garage. Welcome to the garage. Here we are back again to talk about golf carts. We no telling what we'll get into today. We already got a lot of people coming into the room. Gene, what's up, Gene? Hanson, Captain Jim, Kurt, William Rizzo, hey Tim and good people, hello William. Greg Elliott, Bristol, 77 degrees, mostly cloudy. 60% chance of severe weather. 4 a.m. thunderstorms. I suspect green after 4 a.m. thunderstorm. Okay. Yeah, I think we have a chance tonight too of thunderstorms, I believe. I think that's what my wife just told me. Fish Breath 81, welcome to the room, Fish Breath. First time viewing from 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗲𝗃, California. Let's see. 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗲𝗃. Is that right? Did I say that right? 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗲, California. Cool. Fish Breath, thank you for showing up, man. We come here twice a week, by the way, and you're welcome to come back anytime. We come here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon Central Time, and we get together for 30 minutes to an hour or so and talk about golf carts and see if we can help some people out. Keith, hey Tim from Nashville. What's up, Keith? Easy mic to you. Tim and Gearheads. Rock Dog, what's up, man? I didn't get it right, huh, Fish Breath? Captain Jim said he wasn't here because I didn't want to win a hat. I was fishing. Well, that's fine. I want to say again, congratulations to the winner of last hat giveaway, which was last episode, was 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗀𝗆. I spoke with him on the phone, a nice man. I don't know if he's in here yet today or if he's going to be in here today, but he did get the hat and he had a bag of swag sent to him. William Rizzo, what's going on, man? Big Mike, what's up, Big Mike? Let's see, on Facebook we got William Moore. Very sorry I missed the hat giveaway, but I'm here today. No problem, William. You never know when I'm gonna give away a hat. We're gonna do it occasionally. You never know when it's gonna be, so that's why you have to show up. Usually I'll say an episode before, you know, when we're going to give away a hat. That way everybody can be sure and be here the next time to get a chance to do it. But we had quite a few people entered in it this past Tuesday. I think we had almost 50 people in the room, and when we did the drawing, and that's probably the most we've had at this point. Rich Eastmain, sunny 86 and humid here in Machipongo, Virginia. 86 and humid. Yeah, it's kind of a hot day. 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗲𝗃. All right, 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗲. What did I say? How did I do it? Let me go back and look. Yeah, that's easy enough. I don't know why I didn't get that one right. Hello, Tim from Amelia Island, Florida. David Taylor, 88 degrees. Cool. That would be a nice place to be right now, I would think. 90 and sunny and hot in Athens, Georgia. Fish Breath. Yeah, I got it that time. 𝗓𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗲. Bruce, what's going on, man? Hi, all from a nice, cool day in Westfield, Wisconsin. George Bremer on Facebook. Hey, Tim from Hilton, New York. Hello, George Bremer. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. This is actually episode 150. This is 150 episode. It's Thursday, September 7th. If you are watching us at 12 noon Central Time, you are watching us live. We are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see here. There's my social media links I need to run on other platforms. If you would like to follow us on other platforms, we are everywhere. Not only on Facebook and YouTube, but if you like this content, please subscribe. That always helps. Give us a thumbs up. That helps also. Big Mike says it's 69 and cool. And boy, I tell you what, that sounds good to a lot of people right now. Got a lot of heat going on down here in the south. I've been getting a lot of heat-related golf cart calls. This heat, when it gets this hot, it affects people's golf carts in ways that is just unexplainable. I mean, I've got people calling me, telling me that everything is fine. They drove their golf cart, played 9 holes of golf, everything was fine, parked it, went home for a while, came back, but it was parked in the sun, and they get on it and it won't run because something has gotten hot just sitting there in the sun, and to the point where the golf cart won't run anymore. I've had 2 of those calls in the last couple of weeks. 2 completely different people in different parts of the South, but just sitting in the sun, it heated up to the point where the controller, the only thing we could think of is that the controller is just sitting there baking in the sun and got too hot to where it wouldn't run. Sunny and 90 at the beach in North Carolina, Captain Jim. Okay, we will get started with the regular questions. Question number 1. I have a DPI charger 36 that the lights flash twice, then charger cuts off. I've changed the relay. The fuses are surface mount on the PC board and don't show continuity. I can change the fuses, but something made them blow. Any suggestions? I agree with you. Something made those fuses blow. If you have the ability to change those fuses, go ahead and do that, because that's not going to be very expensive if they blow again. But I would want to know why they blew. So I want some information off your battery pack. I'd want some voltage readings, because that charger, your battery pack could be really, really dead. And when that's the case, some of those transformer type chargers, they have to work real hard, and that it could be something to do with your cart. So I'd want to clear that up first before you plug it back in. But yeah, if you can afford fuses, go ahead and try it again. That shouldn't be an issue. 𝗲𝘁𝘁𝗲𝗄81 has a 2018 Club Car precedent. When I plug it into charge, it no longer beeps 3 times, or the battery light doesn't blink. I believe it's still charging. The ERIC charger lights go solid. Well, what I would want to do, 𝗲𝘁𝘁𝗲, is to verify that it is still charging. Like, in other words, I want you to get a handheld voltmeter, and I want you to take a reading off of your battery pack first before you plug your charger in, and take a note of the reading, and then plug your charger in and watch the voltage on your voltmeter, and make sure that after that charger is plugged in, there may be a delay, but after the delay, make sure the voltage, you see the voltage in your battery start to rise. That's the best way to verify if your charger is actually doing anything. So you need to know that for sure. Craig, love the show. Give this man a thumbs up. Thank you, Craig. Is this where you ask if the cylinder? Yeah, I guess this is. I'm sure that I would eventually get around to it. I would eventually say, well, does the solenoid click? Yeah, I would eventually get around to it, Big Mike. Okay, Facebook, we're still rolling. Still rolling good there. Oh, how's the new addition to the family, Big Mike? I haven't asked you that in a while. Number 2. Can I use a 115 amp hour battery in my golf cart? Sure you can. Sure you can. You can use a 115 amp hour battery. That actually has nothing to do with the main thing that the higher amp hour batteries has to do with is the amount of distance your golf cart can travel before it needs recharging. So the higher that amp hour number, the longer you can drive it before it needs recharging. It has nothing to do with power, has nothing to do with speed, has nothing to do with torque. It has something to do with the distance that it can travel. And it also has something to do with the amount of time that it's going to take to recharge the golf cart, because the bigger the amp hour, the more time it's going to take to replenish it back to its normal state. But yeah, you can run a 115 amp hour, no problem. Volts drop from 54.5 to 52 something when I unplug it. All right, 𝗲𝘁𝘁𝗲𝗄, you should see volts higher than that toward the end of the charge cycle. Toward the end of the charge cycle, you should see volts in this, possibly even in the low 60s. So need to make sure that it's getting up to that point. Mike says she's doing great. My wonderful wife is taking the brunt of this sleeplessness. She's a saint, but our little lady is doing great. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. I don't think you ever told me her name. That's up to you if you want to. I mean, I know your other daughter's name. I don't remember, but you don't have to say it if you don't want to. If you don't want to give away too much information about your family or anything. I completely understand. Sometimes I don't think about that when I'm asking people questions. Noah Ray. All right, Noah Ray and Blakely. Cool. Question number 3. I was thinking of changing out the batteries on my club car with 3 12-volt ones. It seems the 6 6-volt ones don't last long enough, even though they are brand new. All right, now there's a problem there. I don't know if you're under a misconception there or you have a problem with your golf cart, because 6 volts, if everything is working correctly, would give you a much longer run time than 3 12s. The 3 12s would have to be humongous in order to equal the 6 6-volts. Not just a little bit bigger like those golf cart 12-volt batteries are. They would have to be huge, you know, to carry around as much lead in order to be as good as 6 6-volts. So don't switch to 3 12s thinking you're going to get longer run time. Let's fix what's wrong with your cart now, your 6 6s. You've got an issue with that setup now if you're not getting very much run time. It may be something else that's going out, not your batteries. William Rizzo says you need 4. You talking about kids, William? He needs 4 kids? He's working on it. He's working on it. Number 4. 95 G14 electric. How can I get more speed from this particular model? I'm installing a 3-inch lift with 20-inch tires. What's the maximum someone should expect to see on this model? 95 G14 in stock form is definitely not a speed demon, you know, by any stretch of the imagination. Now, just the fact that you're putting 20s on it, you're going from 18s to 20s, so that is actually going to give you, just that right there is going to give you a little bit more flat ground top end speed. So it's going to be a little bit faster top end just because you're switching to 20s. Now it may not be very much at all, but other than that, on that particular car, you're going to need to get a bigger controller. You're going to need to get a higher speed motor, and that would work really good with those 20s. I like to see people only put 20s. I don't like seeing 23s and 24s, you know, that tall of a tire on an electric golf cart, because hardly anybody compensates for those tall tires when they get that tall. 20s is fine. A big controller with 20s, that's exactly what I run on my lifted EZGO, my camo cart. It's got 20s on it. Got a big controller, big torque motor, but I'm only trying to pull 20s. And it's a torque monster. It's got plenty of torque, it'll pull anything. And it runs cool too that way. It's not under a strain when I just ride around in the woods. That's why I like to see configurations like that. Reggie Watson. What's going on, Reggie? Hi everyone, Reggie says. Thank you for coming back, Reggie. Number 5 is where I was at. This is from JT. When I try to charge my Yamaha cart, the charger's yellow light comes on and blinks, which normally indicates charging. After 10 minutes, the yellow light and the fault light blink back and forth. Finally, the fault light comes on solid. The cart runs okay, but the charger indicator hasn't moved and is still low, so I can't trust using it. Does this sound like a charger problem, or do I have an electrical problem with the cart? Batteries are 3 months old, and I did a load test yesterday. Initial readings on 4 of them were 8.1 volts. Under load, they dropped to 7.1 to 2. 2 others initially had a reading of 7.7 and 7.6, respectively, and dropped to 6.5 each. Okay, well, that's the problem. You most likely have a charger issue because your battery voltage is too low, especially on 2 of them. But like I've said before, they never deplete at the same time. When they're fully charged, they start depleting at the same time, but you're going to have batteries in that pack that are weaker than others, and they're going to deplete faster. I mean, they're not going to all go dead at the same time. It's going to be one or two batteries. So I would say that you do have a charger issue, and you might want to try that charger on another cart and see if you get the same results, because those voltage readings are way too low. Check Facebook over here. We're good. We're still rolling there. Number 6 is where we're at. My tester uses CCA. I'm going to assume that it's just from probably Knepper. I'm assuming that means cold cranking amps is what you're saying. My tester uses cold cranking amps. How do I convert 117 amp hours at 20 hours to cold cranking amps for my tester? Thank you. Well, I didn't know this one off the top of my head, so I had to look it up, but here is your answer. What was it? Let's see, that was number 6. Yeah, Al. There's a formula, okay? The formula is cold cranking amps equals, now all of this is in parentheses, amp hour times 7.25, that's in parentheses, divided by 0.6. So your battery configuration, 117 amp hour at 20 hours, the cold cranking amps would be approximately 1458. And there you go. But if you'll plug in on Google, convert 17 amp hours at 20 hours to CCA, you'll see the formula. It will come up. That's all I did. Number 7. Let's see, Fish Breath says, you are correct. I have it on the charger now, and it is at above 60 now. Yeah, that's okay. Good. Well, then I just want to make sure that you're getting a full charge. If it never got that high, then you were never getting a full charge. So you are getting a full charge now. And so what was the issue, Fish Breath? Let me go back and look. Okay, you got some lights that are doing something wrong. Yeah, you're going to have to try that charger on another cart just to see, what's going on there. I don't know about the beeps or the battery light. I was concerned about the charging. So you have no onboard computer on that cart to worry about because it's 2018. So that's just a straight charger, that ERIC charger, straight charger into a straight 48-volt battery pack. So that's why it was. The only thing that would be important to me would be the fact that it's getting up to 60 or more. And you can figure out that light situation later, like by putting it on another card or something. Mike Irwin. What's up, Mike Irwin? That's funny. I was just thinking about Steve Irwin for some reason before I went live, about how I miss that guy. I like that guy, that Steve Irwin guy. Thank you for coming in, Mike. Craig says he votes Fish Breath best username. Yep, I have to agree. I would say, Fish Breath, I wouldn't worry about it until I had time to put that charger on another cart and check all that out. And as long as your cart was running all right and doing everything that it's supposed to, which is the most important thing, is the charging, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. I would keep checking into it, but I don't know the answer off the top of my head what's going on there. But the most important thing is that your cart would be charging right. I'm glad that your cart's new enough not to have an onboard computer, so we can throw that out of the mix. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I'd try that charger on another cart and see if you get completely different results, just to make sure. Where am I at there? Well, that was number 7. Yeah, that's where I was at. That's from Brian. I have 2013 Club Car Precedent having problems with the batteries and charging cycle, and the issues are as follows. I purchased a new set of Trojan batteries 2.5 years ago and are lucky to get around 18 holes before the cart voltage drops below 36 and stops. I have replaced 2 of the batteries, which were down to 6.2 volts after the round, but now another battery is dropped down to 6.2 volts after 18 holes. All right, Brian, this is what I would do. You got something wrong there. And this is what I would suspect. I would suspect that your charger is not actually charging your golf cart, and you get on it and you try to do 18 holes, because you should be able to go 18 holes no problem. I would suspect something is going on there. Your cart does have an OBC, does have an onboard computer that it tells your charger what to do, because you're older than 2000. What did you tell me? Yeah, you're older than 2014, so it's very likely that you either have a charger issue or an OBC issue, most likely an OBC issue. You can eliminate the charger by putting it on another cart and let somebody else use it and see if it does normal on their cart. That's what I would do in your case, because you should be getting way more than that, and I feel like it is not charging your cart fully for sure if you're ending up with batteries that are dropping into the 6s. Number 8, from Rod. I'm a new owner of a Yamaha 48-volt golf cart. Do I need to remove the caps on my batteries while I am charging them? I think that was I think I chose that for the title of this episode, remove battery caps during charging. Well, the answer is no, it is not necessary, because battery caps are vented. I mean, they're just there, they're just on there just to help prevent liquid from splashing out of the batteries as the golf cart is moving. But they are vented, so you can leave them on there. They're designed to be able to be left on there, because the gases will still escape, into the air. So that's why I always recommend raising the seat too. If you're charging your golf cart in an enclosed garage, it might be a good idea to raise the seat. Yes, batteries will smell. That's for sure. When you charge them in your garage, they do smell. That's why I'm talking about the seat thing, because I used to tell people to, if you charge in an enclosed garage, put a basketball, like raise a seat and put a basketball on top of the batteries and let the seat rest on top of the basketball, just to keep the seat open a little bit and let the air get to it better. Let me check Facebook over here again to make sure. No, we're good on Facebook. Number 9. How do I disconnect the reverse buzzer on an EZGO cart? Well, I believe at Golf Cart Garage, I think Dave has some videos that show how to do that if you really want to. Just keep in mind that if you do disconnect the reverse buzzer, before I tell you, or get into the question, if you do, depending on which cart you have, you're going to lose the knowledge that you're in reverse. So if you're in your garage, or a child jumps on your cart in the garage and there's no reverse buzzer going off and they hit the gas pedal, they may run right into your brand new Chevrolet truck, all right? Or they may run right into your just freshly painted sheetrock wall, because nobody knew that it was in reverse. That's one warning about doing it. Another one, depending on which car it is, you may lose the ability to listen to beeping diagnostic codes. Like we were talking last episode about an EZGO PDS cart that can be put in diagnostic mode, and it beeps out. Well, the beeps come out of that reverse buzzer. So if you've got your reverse buzzer done, you have no ability to listen to the diagnostic codes that are beeping out. So just keep that in mind. So a lot of people, once they realize that, they may go to the alternative of either just finding the buzzer, putting tape over the hole, or taking an earplug and sticking an earplug in the little hole, just to reduce the annoying beep sound a little bit, just enough to where you can still hear it, but it's not annoying anymore. That's what I would recommend doing. But some people like to disconnect it completely. That's why we have a video at Golf Cart Garage on how to do it. So you decide from that information. And as far as where it's at, if it's either, depending on what year EZGO it is, it could be behind the key switch. It's just a black, you'll recognize it, it's just a black plastic round thing with a little hole in it. It's either behind the key switch or behind the forward and reverse assembly, depending on if it's a gas cart or whatever, but probably behind the key switch. Thomas Mack, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, Thomas Mack. In Louisiana, in North Louisiana. Number 10. Big Mike says, are Trojan batteries as good as they used to be? I've heard their quality has gone down over the years. Are they still top dog? I have, I've been doing this for a long time, and I was a Trojan battery dealer, authorized Trojan battery dealer, even before I went to work at Golf Cart Garage. And 15 years ago, I heard that same thing. 10 years ago, I heard that same thing. 5 years ago, I heard that same thing. But as far as me noticing anything about it, no. And I've sold a lot of Trojan batteries. And I have not noticed that. So I don't know if that's true or not. I tend to think that it's probably not, but I don't know. I'm not at the manufacturing plant, so I don't know. Rich Eastman says that's what he did. He put a piece of tape on the reverse buzzer, and he can still hear it, but it's more tolerable. That's what I would recommend, or that's what I would want to do, because of the garage and the sheetrock and the brand new Chevrolet truck thing. That's what I would want to do. Thomas Mack says it's going to be 104 in North Louisiana today. 104. And that's North Louisiana. So that's, could be hotter in South Louisiana. Dave just posted the link to the video where he talks about the reverse buzzer and disconnecting. There's the link for it. Who asked me about the reverse buzzer? I'm scrolling up just to see. Was it someone on Facebook or was it someone on here? I'll find it, man. Mark Shelley on Facebook. What's up, Mark Shelley? Do Curtis controllers available online need any special programming to work with newer club car precedent cars? Well, a lot of times controllers need special programming to work with specific cars. It wouldn't just be newer club car precedent cars. Controllers need specific programming to work with a lot of specific cars. So it's very likely that it would. You need to know exactly what year your card is and what electrical system it has, if there's more than one available in that particular year. And when you were going to replace the controller, you would have to know those things to make sure that it is going to be a plug-and-play replacement or a programmable replacement aftermarket, like a 𝗫𝗏𝗔 or an Alltrax, where they can be manipulated by the end user instead of by a special computer from Club Car or something. Big Mike says, are they the best in your opinion? In my opinion, Trojans are the best lead acid. Now that might ruffle a bunch of feathers if there's any golf cart dealers or anybody watching this. But in my opinion, Trojans are the best lead acid. I have had the least amount of trouble with Trojans, and I'm including US battery, I'm including Energizer, I'm including Crown, I'm including what's the one that started? Duracell, especially. I'm including that. They sell Duracell at Sam's. I haven't heard anything but bad stuff about those. I actually messed up and bought some of those for a boat, and I'm not very happy with them either. But yes, they're the ones I've had the least amount of trouble with is Trojans. That's what I'm basing my opinion on, that I've had the least amount of problems with them from myself and from customers that I've sold them to. 𝗏𝘁𝘁𝗄𝘃 says, if I upgrade my controller to an 𝗏𝘂𝗃 with the stock motor, will I gain torque and maintain speed going up hills? Well, we'll just answer that question first. Yes, very likely. That would be the answer to that question. Yes, because you have more amps available to go to your stock motor, and if the hill was causing your motor to ask for more amps, you have more amps available, so therefore it would not slow down as much. I paid Club Car and upgraded to speed level 4. I got 21 on flat ground with 20s. That sounds about right, because speed level 4 on a Club Car with 18s, which would be the stock tires, is about 19.6. So anything over that, you're probably getting, because you're not running 18s, you're running 20s. So you got to understand, 20s is just one more inch on the bottom and one more inch on the top. Is what that is compared to an 18-inch tire. $10 to $12. Oh, you drop to about 10, 12 on hills. Well, I would say that if you're dropping that much on hills, then a 600 amp 𝗏𝘂𝗃𝗲 would help you. That would definitely help you, and you might even get more speed than that out of it too. You may end up being faster, because that 600 amp, you're going to be able to program that yourself and take out all the blocks. You can run it wide open. You can set it for wide open. I mean, really wide open. So it's very likely that you could be faster and have more torque. William Rizzo says he highly recommends lithium. Yes, I do too. I do too, William. Oh, it was Rich Eastman that asked the buzzer question. All right, thank you, Greg. Rich, Golf Cart Garage posted a link to the reverse buzzer video that we have. I just wanted to tell you that. Karina Gonzalez, welcome to the room, Karina Gonzalez. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stopping by. I don't know if any of you have called Golf Cart Garage and spoke to some of the people that work there, but Karina works for Golf Cart Garage. She is one of our amazing customer service representatives, one of our amazing team members. Some of you may have spoke to her on the phone. Shout out to Karina. I think the buzzer was regular question. Oh, is that what it was, Ricky? Might have been. Anyway. Yeah, what's up, Greg? Giving misinformation here, confusing everybody. Fish breath, thumbs up. Let's see. Rock Dog says, I'm putting a 160 amp hour, 52 volt Bolt energy battery in my RXV right now. Cool. Comments to come in the future. Yep, we would definitely be interested in that. I've seen those I got a new dealer magazine, and they had Bolt was doing some advertising. I've seen them, but I haven't heard any feedback, so that's what I'd like to hear. I'd like to have some feedback on that, so thank you, Rock Dog. That'd be cool. 𝗏𝘂𝘃𝗃 controllers are really neat. Watch some vids on them. I can't wait to get my Gooba grabbers on one. Yep. Let's see, make sure on Facebook. I'm thinking more of a Curtis Model 1313 handheld programmer. Poor wording before. Oh, okay. I got you, Mark. No problem. Yeah. Now, if that's the one, see, you got to understand that I don't know how it actually is now, but the way that it used to be, Mark, there's two different programmers, and one of them only would allow you to monitor stuff and maybe make simple adjustments and different things, but the one that would actually enable you to change speed, it looked exactly like it, but it was only available at a Club Car dealer. Now, I don't know if that's still the case or not. You know, that you can actually, where you can actually change the speed of the golf cart, because they didn't want the end user to be able to do that, to go all the way up to speed code 4 or a private mode or whatever. Everybody calls it something different. So they had two programmers, and only the dealer had the one that could change the speed, because they would charge you for that. So I don't know if that's what it's still like that or not. It was a long time ago that I actually worked for Club Car. So you might have to contact the dealer and ask them that question. Greg Elliott says, I'm always in a state of confusion. Big Mike wants to know if Dave can link a complete lithium kit for a 2017 TXT. That's going to be a, if you're there, Dave, it's going to be a TXT 48. He wants to know about a complete lithium kit, one of the eco kits for a TXT 48 2017. We have that for sure, Big Mike. Number 10, this is going to be the last scheduled question. And by the way, Big Mike, I'm showing your card again today with your new swag stickers. Number 10 from J Moss. My gas club car DS 2002 has a slight lean to the driver's side. I replaced the standard leaf springs with heavy duty springs to fix the issue. Even with leaf spring replacement, the driver's side is about 1/4 to 1/2 lower than passenger side. Anything else I can do to level? Thanks in advance. J Moss, this is a DS 2002. Okay, the only thing that it could be is, you know, club cars, they have 2 springs in the rear, and that's probably where most of your sag was coming from, was from the driver's side rear spring. But you still have a front spring on a club car DS. There's still a front spring, it just goes the other direction. So it's very likely that that front spring, you know, could have some sag in it also. So you're going to have to replace that front spring, and then everything should be back to brand new at that point. The title of this episode was Removing Battery Caps While Charging. We talked about that it's not necessary because battery caps are vented. And if you just want to remove them so you can watch what I said before many times, if you want to verify what I said about the fact that the water level rises during the charging cycle, you could do that. You could take your caps off, look before you start charging, see where your water level is, and then when your car's fully charged, look in there again, it should be a little bit deeper. The water level will rise during the charge cycle. That is why it is recommended not to fill batteries up all the way to the top. Don't fill them up to the top, because you've got to have a little bit of room for that water to expand up during the charging cycle, and you've got to have a little bit of room for that water to go down during the discharge cycle. Big Mike, take a look here and call if we can help. I'm working on shipping and sweating like a pig. Okay, we did that. Let me run the social media links again. If you would like to follow us anywhere, and that's all of the regular scheduled questions. You can follow us over here on TikTok and YouTube, and Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Too many of them. There's too many. I'm in a state of confusion sometimes too, Greg. So it's not just you. Social media links done. If you would like to purchase a hat from Golf Cart Garage, if you can't wait for the giveaway, if you can't wait to win one, then you can go straight to Golf Cart Garage and boom. There's some links in the description that'll take you straight to them. If you would like to buy one, you can buy one at any time you would like. And there's some links that take you to whichever color. You got the light blue, the green, the dark blue, and the tan. There's swag links in the description. Also, if you would like to speak with me one-on-one, I am a part of the Gearheads on Demand service that we offer, and you can schedule with me. There's a link in the description also that will take you to the scheduling page. You can schedule a phone call at your convenience, and I will call you. It's all automatic. You just pick what time that you would like to speak with me, and I'll be notified automatically, and I'll call you at that time, and we can talk about your golf cart issue 101. Sometimes it's a little hard to get all the information out in the chat room, I understand, because you have to type, and it's a lot easier on the phone sometimes where we can actually have a conversation. If you have any products that you would like for us to carry, here is some information. If you would have any ideas of products that we don't carry, here is the get in touch with us stuff, the email, the phone number, or you can just type it in the chat, because these sessions are recorded, so it will still be viewable if you just put it in the chat. Okay, thank you. Yeah, get that man a cool towel. Yeah, Dave's in a warehouse over there working. Oh, while I'm sitting here in air conditioning. Yeah. Fish Breath says, great show, I'll definitely be back. Thank you, Fish Breath. You're welcome back. Even though you have fish breath, you're still welcome back. Because since we're on the internet, you know, it doesn't really affect us. Here we go. Bam. Let's see. Bam. Let's see. Let's see some carts. Today's featured cart is from our own Big Mike, and I know I've showed Big Mike's cart before, but I'm running low on pictures. I'm not getting as many pictures of people's golf carts as I thought. So please send me some pictures. You can send them to that link I put there earlier, or you can send them to me, 00timfreeman@gmail.com. You can send them to me straight. Here we go here. Big Mike talked about some, I wanted to say one thing before I get to that. Last episode, somebody was asking me about a particular part that we didn't carry. And I knew what he was talking about. It's for an older club cart. It was the plastic slide that goes into the, actually it would be considered the potentiometer in an old club car that activated the 5 micro switches. And he said that he didn't think that we carried it, and he wished that we would. Well, I went and checked. We actually carry that part. I wish I remembered who it was. I need to go back and watch the video and see who it was. But we actually carry that part. So call up Golf Cart Garage and talk to one of our amazing customer service representatives and see what they say about that. Because we do have it. It's just not on the Golf Cart Garage website, but it is available from one of our other suppliers. John Jenkins. What's up, John Jenkins? Thank you for showing up. It's OEM level, is a dealer, is service, and 13 is a user. I am a local. How do you feel batteries? A turkey baster. Yeah, turkey basters would be good, George, to do that. The older technicians know how to troubleshoot, but more with DS models. All are in their 80s. They are not so comfortable with the newer carts. Yeah, the newer carts, they're gonna probably, the technicians nowadays, they probably really rely on that programmer a lot, I would think. Because as carts become more and more computerized, Mark, you know how that goes. They tend to rely on that a lot more. John Jenkins says, why does my G1 keep melting the forward and reverse? What do you mean your G1? G1 is a Yamaha. And he says G1 EZGO golf cart, keep melting the reverse and forward switch. All right. Is it a G1 or is it an EZGO? Because Yamaha makes a G1. But anyway, the answer would be the same. It's very common to melt the forward and reverse switch on an EZGO series cart. It's a weak point, especially if you start lifting it and modifying it, because that's just like when you do that to a golf cart. I've talked about how that puts more of a strain on the controller. Well, when you do that in a series cart, it also puts more of a strain on the forward and reverse switch. That's why sometimes we go to a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch. The only difference between a regular forward and reverse switch in a series cart and a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch is this right here. You see what these are? These are copper bus bars, okay, but these are not stock. See how thick they are? These are ones that I made because I used to modify regular forward and reverse switches and turn them into heavy-duty forward and reverse switches just by replacing the bus bars. You just cut them to the correct length and drill some holes in there, and you replace the bus bars that are in there. The bus bars that are in there are thin enough to where you can bend them with your hands. Well, you can't bend these. These are pretty thick. So this will pass a lot more amps. And so most of the time that is happening, it's either just an old forward and reverse switch, or the car has been lifted and you've been trying to pass a lot of amps through a stock forward and reverse switch. And you put these in there, it wouldn't be stock. Or you can just buy one already done that's considered a heavy duty, but this is the only difference between a heavy duty forward and reverse switch and a normal one. Does not need those mirrors. Sorry, man. Feedback on the 𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗲 motor upgrade. 𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗃 makes some good stuff, but you need to understand what 𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗃 does, Fish Breath. I actually know him. He knows me, the owner of 𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗃. The motors, he just modifies the existing motors. Like the motors that he has is mainly, I mean, I don't know if he has anything else now, like brand new stuff or not, but he takes your regular golf cart motor, and then he modifies it and changes the parameters of it. Like you'll change it to more of a torque motor, more of a speed motor, more of everything, just by rewinding it. And it's a real scientific electrical process to go through to do it. He makes good equipment. A lot of people like the 𝗏𝘃𝗃𝗃 upgrade stuff. So yeah, that would be a good thing. I don't mind giving him a shout out. He makes good product. Does the 𝗲𝘃𝗁 controller have regenerative braking setting? The reason I ask is that the campgrounds we go to has some good size hills, and the region really helps. Well, it does if you have a region car, but if you don't have a region car, then it's not going to work, because that controller will actually work with the 𝗏𝘃𝗁 controller will actually work with a series car or a region car. So if you have a region car, yes, it's got regenerative braking, and you can adjust it. You can get the on-the-fly programmer and adjust it on the fly. If you don't need that much, you can take it out, if you're not in the hilly area. TXT PDS, yeah. So yeah, you got region. So if you had the on-the-fly programmer, you can adjust region with the TXT PDS for sure. Well, you can do it this way, John, where I bought a long piece of copper. I bought a long bus bar, like it was probably 3 foot long. And then I chopped it up and then drilled the holes. You can do it that way. Not everybody's going to want to do that. Or you can just buy a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch for your car that's already got this in there. Now, the ones that are in there, are they this thick? I doubt it. But they're thicker than the stock ones. So that would be easier. Now, I had to look up on the internet where to get copper bus bar when I did that. I did this years ago. I got a bunch of them. Because I used to do that for people all the time. I would modify their forward and reverse switch. Okay, thanks. Ricky Smith said, I love the on-the-fly programmer. William Rizzo says, yeah, I think that's a pretty neat idea too, because I like the on-the-fly programmer also because it's got a key. Take the key out, and then it doesn't matter when your kid gets in there and starts messing with those knobs. It's not going to change anything. Like, you can set it where you want it and lock it and take the key with you. That's the coolest thing about it. Okay, I hadn't shown Big Mike's cart yet. Here we go. I get distracted. Bam! There's Big Mike's cart. We've shown it before, but if you'll look, I don't know if y'all can see can you see my cursor on the screen? I don't know if you can or not. I've never asked that question before. When I show a photo, do you see my cursor moving around on the photo? I've never asked that before. Anyway, if you can, right in here below his front roof strut on this photo, you see the GCG crew sticker. No cursor. Okay, you can't see the cursor. All right. Well, it's right below the front roof strut, right behind the wheel. He's got a GCG crew sticker. That's some stickers that we send in when somebody does win a bag of swag and they get the hat. Dave always hooks them up with some little trinkets, golf cart garage stuff in there besides the hat. So there's some cool stickers, but that's Big Mike's cart. What is the benefit of a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch? The benefit of a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch is that it will pass, it will pass more amps. And anytime you modify your car with a taller tire, it's going to cause your car to pass more amps. And anytime you put a bigger controller, your possibility you're going to pass more amps. So heavy duty forward and reverse switch, it's the same thing. It's like increasing your 6-gauge cables to 4-gauge cable or 2-gauge cable. It's the same thing. That's the weak point in a EZGO series cart, is those bus bars, because they're really thin. The stock ones are really thin, and over time amps go through there. Every time you press on the gas, they go through there just as much as they do your battery cables, the same amount of amps. So that's a weak point in the system. If you update your cables and you update your controller and you don't do anything about that forward and reverse switch, that's a bottleneck right there, is what they call it. It's an electrical bottleneck, and you'll start building up heat in that area. So that's the benefit, is you get rid of that bottleneck by going with thicker bus bars. More power can pass with less heat. Yep. Step ladder. Does he get a nosebleed and need a step ladder? Oh, Big Mike in his cart. Yeah, he is up there, isn't he? Heavy duty solenoid as well. Pretty much the same deal with a heavy duty solenoid. Bigger bus bars inside the solenoid. If everybody could see what's actually inside a solenoid, it's something similar, you know, like these. It's something similar like this, you know, but when you activate a solenoid, you know, they basically just click together. Next question from John is, which one of the A1, A2, and S2 is the forward and reverse switch? Still talking about the EZGO golf cart or G1. I would have to be 100% sure without, I can't answer that on the fly. Like I do a lot of answering on the fly. I don't want to tell you wrong, but I would have to, I'd have to look at a wiring diagram just to make sure on that one, John. John, the G1 is a Yamaha, okay, and an EZGO TXT series would be, I mean, so it's one or the other. Fish Breath says, how are the switches in the club car precedent? What do you mean there, Fish? It's only 6-inch lift. Big Mike says that's a 6-inch lift. No, RXB forward and reverse switch does not have the same problem, correct? That's anything with a run toe switch does not have the same problem. We're only talking about series carts with the copper bus bars. Same thing, Fish Breath. The club car precedent's got a toe run switch, so no. It's only series carts that we have to worry about with what we were talking about the bus bar stuff. Big Mike says he's breaking the TIM rules. It's got 23s on 14-inch with all stock, except it's all flat ground here. I haven't noticed any issues with that. You can get away with it. You can get away with it if it's all stock. I used to tell customers that all the time when they would want me to do something to their car. I'll say, well, what is your application? I'd always ask them, what is your application? And if their application was just riding around in their cul-de-sac neighborhood and just, you know, on asphalt all the time, it'll probably be fine. Probably be fine. But, you know, I wouldn't guarantee that it'd be fine, because inevitably, when one of your kids gets old enough, and by the way, one of them is getting close to that age where they're going to be old enough to reach that gas pedal or the accelerator pedal, they're going to take that thing off-road one day. And hopefully you won't run into any issues. Let me check Facebook over here. Not on Facebook cursor. Oh, okay. No cursor on Facebook. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to get me a pointer. I'll ask my man that helps me, Eamon. I'll have to ask him if there's any way I can get a pointer on the live screen. There probably is. Catherine from O'Brien Freeman, that's my wife on Facebook there. She is in Texas right now. She is not with me today. And she's been there for a while, Kurt, and I don't think I've eaten in several days. You can probably tell that I probably look skinny. on camera today. Will the rims interchange between a Yamaha and an EZGO TXT? Yes, they will. The rims will. But you know what will not? The lug nuts. Don't make that mistake. Yamaha has metric lug nuts, and an EZGO does not. The rim holes are cut the same. It's no big deal. The rims will change over. But don't use the Yamaha lug nuts on an EZGO or the EZGO lug nuts on the Yamaha. Keep the Yamaha lug nuts where they belong. That's a good question. I don't even know if we've ever talked about that before. The fact that Yamaha is the only one that has, out of the three major brands, Yamaha, EZGO, and Club Car, Yamaha has different lug nuts. Yep, Kirk, looks like I'm gonna have to call Domino's, man. Otherwise, I'm just gonna waste away. Rock Dog said he thought I was withering away. Just didn't want to say anything. See there? That's what I said. I'm losing weight. Just as we speak. I'm probably, since the last episode on Tuesday, I'm probably 10 pounds lighter than I was on Tuesday. Rab Wilson on YouTube. EZGO PDS cart will drive for 100 yards and just stop. Press the pedal and nothing. Switch it off and on and it will drive again and stop. Batteries all 6.45. Checked hydro gauge all in green. All right, Rab. I'm going to ask you something about your PDS. Is your PDS a lifted car? That's what I would want to know. She's got Dyno with her, Kurt. So she probably feeds Dyno. Yeah, she probably feeds Dyno. It's not lifted. Okay, it does not have taller tires. Drive for 100 yards and just stop. You might fall through your own backside. Yeah, that's true, Craig. If I get any thinner, if I waste away anymore. Let's see, Rab Wilson, EZGO PDS will drive for 100 yards and just stop. Press the accelerator pedal and nothing. Switch it off and it will drive again and stop. Batteries all 6.45. Checked hydro gauge all in green. I don't know, Rab. We'd have to. You've checked the batteries. We kind of eliminated that. 6.45 seems a little high, by the way, considering a fully charged 6-volt battery would read about 6.37, and that would be fully charged. So that seems a little bit high. Now we are talking about a 36-volt PDS, correct? Big Mike says he needs his wife to go on a trip so he can change his name to Not So Big Mike. So it's a 36-volt PDS. Well, 6.45 seems a little high. I've never seen a speed sensor fault do that exact symptom, but that does not mean that it can't happen. I mean, anything can happen. Do this on your cart, Rab. With key on, in forward, with key on flat ground, push your cart and see if it electrically tries to stop you. Like push it, see if it will roll freely. If it will roll freely, then it could be a speed sensor issue. If it tries to electrically stop you, it's unlikely that it's a speed sensor issue. So try that and see if that would be the only thing I can think of right now. And thank you, Rock Dog, for giving me an idea there. Mark Shelley, Club Car President. I've seen some kingpin bushings with grooves and some without. I can't determine if replacement bushings have them. Does the groove help reduce kingpin wear? We are starting to see more kingpin replacements in 6-year-old or so precedents. Grease to reach bushing. Yes, that's what I would assume too, that the grooves would be so the grease could get in there, because when it's a solid bushing or kingpin, it doesn't allow any grease to hold in the area. It's hard to get anything in there. So you said you're starting to see more kingpin replacements in 6-year-old or so precedents. Kingpin replacements in non-lifted precedents or lifted precedents, because a lot of times, this is what I've been seeing. A lot of lift kits for precedents, they don't have camber and caster adjustment, so the cart has to ride around with misadjusted camber or caster, and that in itself would put more pressure on the kingpins. So we have that camber caster correction kingpin kit. Yeah, I would check that just to see, or take note of the ones that you're having to fix if the camber or caster looked like it was out of adjustment. Okay, you're saying they were all basic carts. Okay. Well, that's something to take note of. I haven't heard that yet. I talk to a lot of people, but I don't talk to a lot of people that work on golf carts on a regular basis like you do. So I do like to hear about this stuff in case it comes up with customers that I talk to, and because you can give me ideas on what the problem could be. So I appreciate your feedback on this. So please come back and keep us informed on what's going on with the, it's a good idea to be up to date on carts that are around 6 years old, considering that they've been on the golf course for the first 3 years of their life, most likely, and then they've been out in the public for the last 4 years of their life. So yeah, it's always good that's what I used to try to keep up on, was about a 6-year-old golf cart. That was what would be most common at any time. That's going to be what's most commonly out there and the end user is using. Nobody important. Loose connection at battery, heating and opening up. Yeah, nobody important. If you got a loose connection at battery that's heating up, then you could end up melting a terminal. So you don't want to do that. You need to get that fixed. Funny diet strategy. Kick the wife out. Yeah, that's the diet strategy. William Rizzo says, I'm fat, but I identify as skinny. I'm trans slender. 95 EZGO medalist, reverse switch and forward. Cart goes reverse. Reverse it goes forward. Does that mean wires are backwards? Yes, Stephen Kuhn, it does. And if I had a diagram, I could tell you exactly which ones they are, but I don't have a diagram. But yes, that is what it means. You got 2 wires backwards. Now, another thing that I've noticed is that not all motors are created equal. A lot of times somebody will replace a series motor with another series motor, and the 2 wires will be labeled backwards on the motor itself, and they'll put it exactly how it was, and they'll end up with that problem. So that could be the case. Rock Dog says, I am too. Hope you don't mind if I use that in the future. Trans slender. Yeah, I might have to use that also. Okay. Looks like we are out of time, guys. I think I covered everything. On this Thursday. Thank everybody for coming. Thanks for making me laugh. You guys make my day. What is the thickness I need on the bus bar you showed? This is the exact same size as the stock bus bar. So when you get you take out one of your stock bus bars out of your forward and reverse switch, and you, if I'm not mistaken, it's 1/2 inch this direction, and then you just cut it to the exact same length as one of your stock bus bars. But I think it's 1/2 inch that way, and maybe 3/16 this way, if I'm not mistaken. But that doesn't matter as much as getting this part right, the 1/2 inch part. So you have to take your stock one out. That's what I did. I mean, just to be 100% sure. I can't remember the exact measurements on this. Usually see Mark says, thanks for having these. You're welcome, Mark. We got a lot of people in the room with some golf cart experience. It's not just myself, it's a lot of people in there. Okay, that's going to be it. We've covered everything, guys. I appreciate everybody for coming. Have a great weekend, everyone. First breath, I'm going to go fishing in Eastern Sierras, Mammoth Lakes. Cool. Thank you, John. Thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all showing up every week, every 2 days or so, or every other day. Like I said, thanks for making me laugh. I'll see y'all next week. I am off tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a nice weekend. I think it is. I believe we might finally get a little bit of rain. So thank everybody for coming. I'll see you guys later. The garage is now closed.